Yes,
So,
let's speak about success now.
okay. So, talking about success, from 2, 3 years, I started to think about what is the meaning of success.
Yes, thank you for sharing. It is like so true. I agree with what you just said, and I remember how my mentor Bob Proctor always was saying that.
Exactly. See, I'll take from your words two important issues. They're not related, but I will highlight two important things.
It can be the best, right? And when we look in few years, when we learn the lessons, when we grow from that situation and look back, then we can say, so good that this happened.
The first part is related to that we always need to find a spot of hope in whatever the situation. I want to just confirm something because in many scenarios, you will find people having the impression, oh, these guys are just saying words.
Brought
That's it.
something to the surface that I finally understood, and because of this situation, I changed the trajectory, and this is why I am here where I am now.
But if they are really in a bad situation, they will not say this. No, I want to tell them that every person, every human being in this universe will face problems in his or her life.
Yes,
So,
let's speak about success now.
okay. So, talking about success, from 2, 3 years, I started to think about what is the meaning of success. Because from a psychological point of view and from a philosophical point of view, what I can say or see as success, maybe another person can see it as a failure. Okay. I remember when I was, in this during my just high school, my dad was a PhD engineer. So for him, success means that I have to join the faculty of engineering. Anything else is failure, okay?
Mhm.
Whatever you're doing, you're now having a doctorate degree in business administration. What is business administration? So for him, the evaluation of success, it is built on his own perspective. So at that time, I thought about why not to dive deeply on the science of success, what is meant by success, and how people really can succeed. Um, One of the issues which I saw during my past years, because I've been into many consultancy projects and I saw a lot of success and failure stories. One of the major advice I saw that some entrepreneurs did not achieve because they had a partnership with an employee mindset. I'm not against and I'm not attacking an employees. Definitely, we cannot survive without employees around us. But I mean, the employee mindset here, to clarify what I mean, is a person who is waiting for his salary at the end of the month. If this salary is late, if this salary is having any hurdles, he will not be able to adapt with this situation. So the employee mindset is very dangerous for any business, especially in the starting of any business, because when you start a business, you cannot expect an income by the end of the month. So especially if you are having a partnership with people with having this mentality, so they will keep on putting pressure on you. They will keep on asking you for use this question. Now, what happened? What is next? It happens that sometimes a meeting is postponed. Sometimes a deal is about to be closed, and then for simple reasons, it is not working. So, in this journey, you will find a lot of headache and a lot of pressure over you. So, a key advice really I could give to any entrepreneur, please avoid having any kind of partnerships with an employee mindset. You have to test them because many people may get fascinated with your strategic plan, with your business mindset, and all the things. But when it comes to real operations on the ground, they will start to chase you. They will start to raise questions which are wasting time. And what is worth, they might start to create an environment of suspicious. They are suspecting in you. Oh, you told me that you are going to close these deals. What happened? It didn't work. As simple as this. It didn't work for the last minute. And I don't need to keep on giving a daily report for people what happened today, what will happen tomorrow. You need to focus on your strategy. Another advice, some people, through my journey, and this was a very recent example, by the way. I wasn't about to enter an education project. It was a big project. So it was a partnership between two companies. The point is, one of the companies, the CEO of the company, is not a CEO. He's a COO. He is into detailed operations. This is another thing that is hitting badly in a business. When you are focusing into small details, strategists usually don't look at these details, especially at the beginning, especially during the planning phase. But this guy wants not only details, he wants figure by figure and, minute by minute planning, which will never happen. And sometimes you find questions like, from where did you get this number? Definitely, people, when they get numbers for forecasting or something, they look into the market, they look into the competition, they look into the size, the demand. How can I guarantee this? Nobody can guarantee these things now while we're discussing together. This type of minds really harm a lot of business. But I don't want to keep on giving negative examples. There are a lot of successful examples, definitely. So getting back to your question, the word success is a debatable word. Why debatable? Because everyone is having his own success model. So what I consider success, maybe you don't see it as a success, okay? But the bottom line for success, from my point of view, because I'm a person who likes psychology, and to always have a positive psychology or a positivity about what you're doing. And when I talk about positive psychology, I'm talking about science, not about just clapping and doing things. No, I'm not that person. I'm talking about real science, real human psychology. When you feel comfortable with what you're doing, when you are having the right planning, when you really study the external and internal environment, then you will be confident to move. Regardless, people around you who will try to grab you backward or try to create an atmosphere of uncertainty. uh, Many people in the very stages, early stages in their lives, they saw this type of people. I read a book where Honda, Honda, the owner of Honda cars, the guy in the first engine he did is in his life exploded. So if people around him, okay, told him, Honda, please don't work in cars anymore, we will not have the Honda brand around us right now. Oprah Winfrey was told that you are not a media face at her early stages. Now you can see who is Oprah Winfrey. So people cannot surrender to these types of comments. I believe that successful people are those who fail and know how to deal with failure, not how to deal with success. Anybody can deal with success. Anybody can be happy when he is celebrating success. But the question, if when you are facing hard times, how are you reacting? What is your energy when you are dealing with hard times? Do you surrender? Honestly, because I don't want to appear like a Superman. In 2014, really I had some issues, and I really surrendered. I said that I don't want to live anymore, at that time, to that extent. Life is black, everything goes wrong. Then, now we are in 2026, how many years passed? I realized that I was a real fool to think like that. As long as we are still breathing, as long as we don't have a mental issue, our minds are working, so we can do something. We can create something out of nothing. So the real success from my point of view is the ability to cope, the ability to adapt, the ability to accept positive and negative comments and feedback, the ability even to deal with those who try to destroy you. Because many successful people, you will find a group of enemies who want to destroy them. Okay, the ability of dealing this is something that will add to success. So success is not a story to be told from my point of view. It's a mindset that need to be built, that you always find an area for success. Even in the middle of failure, you have to find a spot, a successful spot. From here, you can start and move on, because nothing called complete black image. You will always find a bright spot here or there. It is your mind, and it is your inner energy that will tell you whether to move on or to keep stand still in your place. This is, my brief idea about success.
Yes, thank you for sharing. It is like so true. I agree with what you just said, and I remember how my mentor Bob Proctor always was saying that nothing is good or bad. Nothing is good or bad. This is just the meaning which we give to situation. Because the thing which we might think this is the worst, what happened in our life, it can be the best, right? And when we look in few years, when we learn the lessons, when we grow from that situation and look back, then we can say, so good that this happened, because this situation that made me awake just
Yeah,
brought
yeah, true.
something to the surface that I finally understood, and because of this situation I changed the trajectory, and this is why I am here where I am now, right?
Yeah,
Although in that situation we can think it is the worst because it just didn't happen as we expected, and what we expected in few years may be the worst. Right? Like everything is just perception. And what else I learned from him, that our attitude very important, and our attitude determines things. Like if we look at things as good, even if it is bad initially, but we have this attitude knowing that there is the equivalent of negative in everything positive, and vice versa. So whatever happens, if we have that attitude to look for good in every situation and asking ourselves, yes, I don't like it, maybe it doesn't feel good, and maybe it hurts, but let's see what can be good, even as you said, a little bit, yes, like hidden somewhere in that black big spot and little bit white. And then when we focus on looking for good, this is how we turn everything good. And I experienced this many times in my life when I learned this principle. I just experience it. I don't even look at things as bad anymore. My mindset automatically is like, okay, what is good? What I learned. If it is, even if I lost something, I ask myself, okay, I lost, it doesn't feel good, but what I learned, what is the lesson for me to grow from this situation, to become more wise, maybe to choose people better? Yes, because sometimes when we are not conscious about our circle and who, as you mentioned, we invite to become partners, if we are really don't know how to choose people and want to look at them, later it can become a big problem, right? So when something happens, we can always learn, like, why these people even in my circle, how I attracted them. So what have to change in me inside to start attracting different people in order to get different results.
Exactly. See, I'll take from your words two important issues. They're not related, but I will highlight two important things. The first part is related to that we always need to find the spots of hope in whatever the situation. I want to just confirm something because in many scenarios, you will find people having the impression, oh, these guys are just saying words. They're just, but if they are really in a bad situation, they will not say this. No, I want to tell them that every person, every human being in this universe will face problems in his or her life. No one is crystal clear, problem-free person. Okay? So this is number one. Number two is I know well that when sometimes when people are in the middle of the problem, they feel that this is the end of the world. But I just want them to ask themselves one thing. Did the world really end it? Okay. So you are having a problem yesterday, the day before, today, tomorrow. Will this end the world? No, it will not. So you have to admit that how you are responding to whatever, even the worst case scenario that might come into your mind, okay? At the end, you will keep on surviving and life will change because nothing will be constant forever. Nothing. And what is being accommodated today could be attacked tomorrow, and what is being attacked today could be the best thing after tomorrow. Do you know? And because I told you that I'm into the education field and doing some academic teaching. So if you ask most of the professors before 2019, most of them, and especially in the Middle East, okay, what is your opinion about online learning? You will find that this person talking about online education as if it is equal to the devil. Or maybe the devil is, something more pleasant than online education, and they will keep on telling you a lot of negative issues about online education. Now COVID came, and they were forced to move to online platforms and to utilize the technology for lecturing. The same people, when you ask them about online education now, oh, it's the best thing in the world. So see how people can change their mind and their attitude and in a day and night when I'm discussing centralization and decentralization in management, when I receive a question, which is better, centralization and decentralization, my answer is if anybody tells you that this is better than the other, he is fooling you. Because you need to know what do you mean by centralization and where and how. And from a wide vision or from the first impression, people will say decentralization is better. Then I ask them a question. What if I'm a small enterprise? I don't have that luxury of hiring high salary people, highly qualified people means high salaries. So I'm just hiring, you know, based on my budget, mid qualified people, and they will learn by time. So can I take the risk to be totally decentralized in these decisions? Because these decisions now will be based on mid-qualified people. So it is risky. Some decisions, even in big organizations, has to be centralized. A lot of financial decisions, investment decisions has to be centralized. So it is not a matter of which is better. I always say management is not black and white. We are in the gray age. Maybe 20, 30 years back, people were always a fan of black and white decision. Now we are in the gray age. Nothing black and nothing white. It is the situation based on the analysis we are doing for the situation, based on mm, even for sometimes when I'm conducting a training, some trainings can fit, some examples can fit with some cultures, others cannot fit. So you have to be talented enough to evaluate the situation in order to take the right decision, not to have a ready-made decision that is fit for all. The fit for all is not there anymore. This is
Yes,
my
yes,
opinion.
exactly. I like how you brought this example with COVID and online education. Logic is not fixed, right? Logic can change. And as you said, what people thought before logical, now it is not logical anymore, and vice versa. Like when brothers Wright were thinking about creating aircraft, yes, like they were ridiculed and they were like everybody were laughing because it was totally illogical what they were thinking about. But now when we take airplanes and go everywhere by planes, this is logic, right? So it is very interesting that we shouldn't even like when we think about something, again we come to this idea about business, building successful business, right? So people who really want to be successful, they have to detach from logic, because if they want really to bring something new, for most of people it will be not logical, right? And when it comes to bringing really value which doesn't exist, the entrepreneur should rely on his imagination and his trust and faith, right? Like, because in some cases this is only him who can see this vision and this picture when everybody else doesn't. It is like wearing the glasses like which were prescribed to me. If I can wear glasses and see very well in them, but if I give these glasses to you, you can say, oh, everything is blurry, just throw it away. Why you want to wear this, right? So this is, I think, success for people who really the qualities for success. I think this is not asking others what I should do, right? You have to know exactly who you are, what are your strengths, and what is your vision, and believe in that vision, and believe in yourself, and believe in God that He gave you this vision, and He will support you when you do the right steps. And this, I think, which will give that endurance, right, and persistence and consistency, because you already see it as reality and you think from the future, as when you see already this is reality, this is already you having this, and you see how it impacting the world. And when you make decisions from the future as this is already done, that those decisions will be very different from those decisions if you just look at your physical reality or past and just think like, oh, what, how can it, what if I like, what if I need somebody opinion, right? Or if you just look at your current situation, there can be no evidence at all that it can be possible. You have to create that evidence in your mind first, right? And believe to it, and of course see that it gives value, not that you just create something that don't nobody needs, right? So it should have demand. It should,
I'm
yeah.
sure that imagination is something important for even, the artists, the big artists. If they don't have the sense of imagination, they will not create a masterpiece in music or in piece of art. But imagination is very important. But I also can see that entrepreneurs or people who want to succeed need to build said realistic confidence, not just confidence, because sometimes confidence can or overconfidence can be out of no base. So you don't have a base to build this confidence. It will turn up to be a kind of just arrogancy, and I don't see anything but myself. No, build realistic confidence in terms of you study what you want to do. You the reality around it, start to think, how can I go towards this? Not to just be a stubborn person, this is what I want and this is what I will do, and end of the story. You should have realistic uh, plan and realistic qualifications. So I cannot come today and see and say I will succeed to be the best engineer in the world. And I know that you will never be able to be an engineer, but at least ask yourself, what are the steps needed to be an engineer? So I want to be, when you talk with any organization, when you see their vision, when they are creative, we want to be the first company doing one, two, three, and four. Okay, fine, great. But did you take any step to be the first? Do you even know who is the first now in order to check whether you are capable to compete with this first or not? Do you know what is first in terms of customer expectations? So you know nothing. You just want to be the first, and that's it. Okay. Your project, your idea, whatsoever, and then be realistic with the planning. Here is a trick. Sometimes in your plan, people will keep on telling you this will never happen. You are just dreaming. This is, and you will find this. And sometimes they're right, by the way, because they are building this based on maybe two, three plans in your life didn't work well. Maybe you took wrong decisions here or there. But people don't know that wrong decisions are the foundation of successful decisions on the long it, and you know how not to, and what was the aspects that push you to that decision. Sometimes, by the way, this is one of the issues that people will never understand. Most of the people, I will not say people, most of the people will never understand, because myself, I faced it. Sometimes you take a decision and you that you are taking a wrong decision, that you will pay for it. You know what is going to happen, but there is no other solution now. People will never, or most of the people will never understand this. There's no options at that time. So at least I want things to move. Okay, you know, sometimes you are just buying time. I'm really speaking very openly. People will always try to look polished and try to say that they are with the results I'm in, even if part of the results are not as I planned, and some of the results caused pain and very hard pains, but I'm still confident and happy with what I am today. I have um my own database of success and failure, decision making process, people whom I trusted who proved to be untrustable at all, people whom I was suspecting in this happened. Now I'm building a better version of my mind, a better version of my choices, a better version of my life, because uh, this is how people really are growing. This is how people really something. I was 165 kilos, 165 kilograms. Fine. So I tried a lot of diets because I was a fat guy when since I was a kid. Maybe in the third preparatory, I was started and in the university, and so people, whenever I started to do that, you will never be able to lose weight. The thing is, I tried a lot of methodologies, and then I realized that I need to look at it from a different perspective, because I was always looking into trying go to the gym, trying to do a diet, and I was not successful in this. Then I decided to go for a sleep gastrectomy operation. Then today, while I'm sitting in front of you, I'm 73 kilos. So from 165 to 73, another person come out of me. So people, those people who would, if I followed them, you will never lose weight. You will never lose weight. I will not lose weight. But I was having confidence. And here is the, I said before, realistic. Your confidence is having a structure. You know where you want to go, what do you have in hands, what you can achieve after sometimes, and what kind of support you need. Can you able to reach all this equation that is going on inside you? People are not seeing it. And even if they see it, they will suspect in it. Okay? This is the I can say that this is a human nature. People will always try to tell you you cannot. But all you towards achievement, and this is also the reason that many people around you will suspect in you because they don't know your equation. You are not communicating the equation, not because you are hiding, but because you are having your own thinking and your own um, mm, plan that you don't need to share with everybody. You don't need to share the details of each and everything. So you are waiting for something next month. You know that there is something next month, next step. People are not aware that next month this will happen. During this 30 days, they will keep on telling you, you will never be able, you will never, you will not, you will not. And you are staying. Here is what I say, the structured confidence. I'm confident because I know what will happen next month. You don't know what will happen next month. You get what I mean.
Yes, yes, of course. Yeah. Yeah. That is very good that we discussed, because this all what you said is true, and of course people like should be bold. Of course, if you want to achieve something big, you are bold, right? But on the other hand, you also have to see like what you want to attract, what is necessary, look for people. But what I learned from Bob Proctor is it not much about knowing. This is more about attracting. So when
Mhm.
you work inside of looking for outside factors what you need, because you cannot build anything new if you just think logically and prepare yourself. Like some people say, I have to have the clear plan how to achieve that. So if you want to have clear plan, your goal is not big, because you cannot connect the dots when you look forward. You can only connect the dots when you look backwards. So if you just sitting and preparing and want to have everything ready and know exactly how you go from A to Z, it says that your goal is very small. If you can know and predict how to get to Z, so it means that Z is very very close. It is nothing new. It is already something that you already done before, or know like how to connect, and can just see how to get there. So
It's a
it speaks.
repetition.
Yes, so it tells that goal is not big. But when we are speaking about really big goals, it is not about knowing how. It is mostly about wanting that. Like if you really want this, as Napoleon Hill in his book Think and Grow Rich, he wrote about burning desire. Yes, and when we look in our life, whenever we had burning desire, it means that we really wanted something big. Like like really wanted it. Like burning desire. Why it is says like this? Because you feel it in your body that you really want it, like something in your gut, right? So whenever we wanted that, if you look back, if I look at my life, I always was getting that. If I want something badly, I will get it, whatever. Like even if there is no evidence about that from childhood, if I wanted something, I was always getting it somehow. Somehow situations was coming together that it was coming to me. Yeah, so this is what when we speak about goal, like really, if you have a big goal, you should not focus on strategies or different things which are outside. The biggest focus should be on inside. It is your identity. Who you have to become, what kind of person you have to become in order to align with that goals, to make that goal natural. So this is how we close in this gap between where we are now and what we have now and what we want to have. Instead of focusing on things what we want to have, we have to focus on ourselves, who I have to become in order to attract those things natural. And when we focus on our identity, because it is identity which controls our behavior and what we expect and what how we dress and how we talk and whatever happens, this is all identity. So when we focus on our identity and giving value, how I can grow to give the maximum, the best what I can, right, in what I do, instead of focusing on how much money I want to receive, right? So when we focus on identity and the value, like the service, that level to do your best, this is how this gap closes. And when we start also thinking from not our physical reality, but as that person who we meant to be, right, to get that goal, who is natural for everything what we want. This is how it will impact the way we think, we feel, and we act. And this is how the gap will be closed, and we will start attracting right people, like different situations which are coming from nowhere. It looks like that they just come, like how everything just started matching. But why it is matching? Because now you are aligned with your goal, you are at the same frequency, and when you're in the same frequency, everything just exists at that diapason, right, of frequency, whatever you need for achieving your goal.
You know what you are saying reminds me. Have you ever read the book of Stephen Covey, The Seven Habits of Highly Effective People?
Yes.
You know, the habit of start with the end in mind, it is very close to what you are mentioning, because when you start with the end in mind, that means you are seeing yourself succeeding. You are seeing yourself accomplishing. You are seeing yourself, reaching your goals. So this is the end in mind. This will lead you to attract the needed power, the needed resources about this. It is not 100% a kind of the law of attraction, which I also believe in the law of attraction, by the way. Sometimes, really. And I guess it happens to all the people all over the world. You think about something and you will find it happening. It happens a lot. Even sometimes you think about people, you find them calling you. You sometimes, I reached to a point when I don't want something to happen, or I'm expecting something negative to happen. Once it come into my mind, once on the spot, I'm converting my thinking to a very positive thing, because I say now I'm in, the most sensitive time to attract. So if I keep the negative thought, I will attract it. It will convert to reality. So on the spot, I change it to something good. Okay, I trained myself really to do that. And since then, really, when at that time, before I started to train myself, I really, whenever I expect something bad, it happens. So I trained myself to stop expecting anything bad. I'm expecting the good. Even if the bad is on the door, waiting to knock the door, I will find a think about good things that will, you know, let the positive things to happen to replace the bad things. So I'm really um, with your point of view, 100%. Um, maybe this is the nature of our different personalities. I just want to add to it. Different personalities are there everywhere. So I'm really with your point of view 100%, but based on me, I will add few areas for um not the literal business and strategic plans and operations plans, no, but at least I can replace the word plan with few steps. I need to or remove the word steps and have a map, a mind mapping to map what is there in my mind into papers. Because when you map things and you have visualization to things, this might reflect your attention that you need to work in this area, you need to enhance this part, you need to eliminate this factor. So I might just take your help me to have a better visualization to my hopes and dreams and my plans. This is the only thing I can add to it.
Yes, yes, you're right, of course. Instead of thinking about A to Z, we can focus and creating map from where we are now. Like, where this is the resources I have, this is where I am, so what is my first step? Right, and then you focus to take your first step, or maybe if you see two steps, whatever you can go, and then you act before getting ready. This is another thing. You don't need to have all the plan for every stages to get to Z. You have to take a first step, because when you take the first step, this is how other steps will come, right? Because if you are here sitting, right, and you look in the window, you see the horizon line only to one point. But when you go by car like few kilometers, you will see new horizon line,
Yeah.
right? So this is how it is. So you don't need to just sit and preparing like how many people do. They just plan to plan, right, and prepare to prepare, and they never start. But this is a very critical thing, is that you have to look where you are and what you can do, what is your first step, and take that step without preparing and planning. You have to get into the frequency of your desire, and you cannot get into the frequency just sitting and thinking and dreaming and not doing nothing. You have to take first step. This is how you will show to universe that you are in, and you have to be fully committed to do everything what is necessary to achieve there. And when you do the first step, as it is said, like open one door, you open one door, then other seven door opens, right? So you can never know how it will be revealed. You have to have that faith, trust in yourself, and take action now. Like whatever you decided, take action now from where you are with resources you have, and then you see tomorrow another ideas will come, other somehow situations will come, and then when you act like this, having that big picture in your mind, visualization, like of course it is important seeing yourself there and being that person, because you have to kill that old version of yourself. You cannot achieve anything new in your life with old version. You just will repeat the same and the
Yes.
same. So you have to kill that old version and bring, like, put on yourself that new version, and from now on just thinking, feeling, acting as you already that person. So this is the recipe of achieving.
Sometimes the old version is not that bad. Sometimes you need some polishing. Okay, it's like yeah. Sometimes the old version just needs some polishing, needs some enhancement. Sometimes I'm not saying, because some people, yes, you need to destroy the old and to kill the old version 100%. Some people, no, they have a good qualities which were not were so open to uh, they are opening, I call it, they are opening their lives to people, to everyone. No, we need sometimes to have our own privacy. because really having an open life, anyone can enter and do whatever he wishes or she wishes and then get back, okay, and leave you wherever, without any the minimum concern about you or about your expectations from who care about their own interest and their own benefits from you. This is a version, yeah, it has to be totally suspended. But if you have in your old version a version of good mentality, a version of positivity, a version of accepting risk, because without risk you will not do anything, by the way. Risk is very important. A part of tendency towards growth and development, yeah, keep them, take them as tools to move to your new version.
Yes, of course. Here, don't speak literally about killing yourself, right? And then get
I
reborn.
found that we are
Like,
on the same page,
yes,
but
of course.
maybe, or to be more accurate, we are in the same book, but maybe the first page differs. But we are in the same book. But
Yes,
maybe,
of course. Yes, of course. And you don't need to kill everything, of course, in you. When we speak like kill that old version, it means your doubts, your fears, like
yeah,
everything that thought negative, like this, like very heavy load which people carry. Maybe something happened in the past, and then they come back to that moment, and maybe they had failure, and then they think that, oh, I failed, and this is how they live today, like with the thoughts from the past. So this is what I mean, like put this all together, put it in the suitcase and just throw it away. So
yes,
start
yes,
living today
correct.
with that confident version of yourself. Be inspired, have that big vision, know how you want to help the world, how you want to impact people, do your best, how what problem you want to solve, how you can solve it the best, right? And come with this innovation, right? Because we don't need to compete with anybody. Many people just start business and they think like, oh, what other people do, and if they are good, let me do the same, right? But we are not here to do the same. We are so unique individuals, and every one of us are given unique talents and gifts. So instead of thinking how I can compete with somebody, why we don't just think why I can create something that will make existing models obsolete, right? Everybody has this capacity, right? And just start thinking something new, be innovative, create something interesting, something new that will bring people value, and then you don't need to compare yourself with anyone. Of course, competitors analysis is important to know what is in the market, but when you want to come to the market, don't just limit yourself with what other people do. Think about that you are a creator. Yes, we have been created by God's image. Like He gave us this capacity and opportunity to create everything, right? Like when we see how the universe, everything was created, and we as human beings, only one creature who given this ability to create, right? So this is very important to be creative, use that imagination and bring something new. Yes, and when we look at everything what has been achieved and what we use now, like light, airplanes, Wi-Fi, right, mobiles, all these people, they didn't just copied somebody else. They came with their new ideas. They
Yeah,
believed that it is possible. They took what it could, like we know, like Microsoft was starting from garage, yes, and other, like we know, people didn't think that, oh, my idea is so big, so I have to wait till I have circumstances. No, they started from where they were and taking steps. This is how they grow, and this is everyone can have this perception.
exactly, exactly, 100%, 100% true.
Yes, thank you so much, Tarek. It was amazing conversation. Yeah, I really enjoyed to hear your perspective about success. Yes, thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to see you again in our future episodes.
Yeah, sure, sure. It's a pleasure and honor. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're most welcome. Bye for now.
Yeah, bye.